about this event? So 10 years, that's a pretty stable partnership to have, and to help a lot of people along the way.
It's unbelievable, and I'll be entering my 10th year coaching Auburn. I feel like I just got here, right? And when Brandy and I got to town, we were too much is given, much is expected. So we truly were looking for some causes that we could support and through our foundation. And it's always focused on kids. We've always had a focus on cancer and in some different ways, and then some religious things, right? Those have sort of been the three pillars of our support: kids and cancer education and God. And man, Children's Harbor was just an easy fit. Kids with all kind of challenges health-wise, and their families get to come out to beautiful Lake Martin and have an amazing experience. So, but like everything that we do, if we don't raise funds through the generous support of the Auburn family, it doesn't happen. And so this event's sold out. We have guys that have been trying to get into the event for years and just can't. It's like season tickets. You just can't get them. That's a good problem to have. And so we're going to have a great day and raise some money for Children's Harbor.
Bruce, with the news about Janai yesterday, how do you as a staff at this point over the next couple weeks sort of balance the possibility of him staying in the draft and the possibility of him coming back?
First of all, last year 7 guys went from the G League combine, got invited to the combine. None of them got drafted. And so it's really hard to make that jump because there are so many guys that get invited to the combine that aren't going to get drafted, right? But Janai definitely helped himself and clearly does the things that he does. He's able to score. He played physically. He's got high basketball IQ, and the things he needs to continue to work on: his defense, his rim protection, rebounding out of his area. That'll be. We'll see that again. The level of competition in the combine will be higher than the G League combine. He did great, and our feelings have sort of always been, can you get yourself into that first round? If you get yourself in that first round, you need to go. And it's hard to climb out of a second round. Guys that go second round, they're not the general manager's first pick. They do the two-way contracts. They spend most of their time in the G League. So look, we're rooting for Janai. And on one hand, on the other hand, we obviously love to have him back because, he could be one of the best, one of the best players preseason in college basketball next year. So.
At the SEC tournament, you were saying how proud you are of the league and how much it's grown. You talk about this being your 10th year here. How much more competitive has recruiting within the SEC become since you've been here?
Oh, it's a dogfight. It's a dogfight. Everybody's investing. Everybody's playing in a big way in the NIL space, which has made things even more competitive. And you've got programs. Everybody's committed. Who's not all in the SEC? I don't think there's a single school that's not completely committed. The facilities and the coaches that are being hired and everything. So it makes finishing in the upper division of the league and make the NCAA tournament, a bit of a prize.
Bruce, are you guys exploring some options on the wing now that Al's graduated and decided to hit the portal?
We've been exploring those options on the wing for a while. We've been patient. We've lost a few guys that we've been involved with. And I'd say that, there are still 3 or 4 guys that are still out there that we're actively involved in, and we'd like to get one of them. And if we got one of them, we'd feel really good about that position. So part of it is staying patient, we've got. Fortunately, there's still a couple of really good options out there. So, but we need one. We definitely need one more at that spot.
How difficult is it to kind of balance that patience, but also like a sense of urgency, knowing that you need to fill that spot?
It's kind of like, I'm not much of a poker player, but there's a little bit involved in that. You just don't want to settle. You don't want to take, just to be done with it, take something that can't get you to where you want to be. The league's too good. So I'm hoping that when I say patience, we're not panicking. I'm just hoping that it pays off. Now if we lose a couple more, I actually truly don't see why we're losing anybody. I mean, I think that if there's a wing out there that likes to score and likes to play with a little bit of freedom. I mean, Wendell and Al were our two most ball-dominant players, and they're both gone. We've replaced Wendell with Aiden, and Al played a major role and had a great run, particularly in the second half of the year. You know, you'd like to think that a great wing would, and when I say wing, we play 3 guards anyways, would be pretty excited about that opportunity.
Speaking of Aiden,
And I think we got some that are excited. We just haven't had anybody to say the magic words.
Speaking of Aiden, he, McDonald's All-American last year. He gets, 5-star across the board now. Since you guys got him committed and signed, how much have you seen him kind of continue to develop and grow between now and y'all getting him here this summer?
His rankings have gone up because of the year he had a prolific. He's gotten a little bigger. He's competed well at those higher levels. That's what we would hope. We'd hope that a guy that we would sign in, or commit, a year later, as he would be showing that he'd be moving up the rankings, because that I think shows you we've done right. We've made a good decision there. Ira Bowman has done a great job recruiting Aiden, and I think Aiden and Trey are going to have a tremendous competition for the starting point guard position. They're both going to play. And the good thing is actually both are good with the ball and without the ball. So that's going to be fun to watch. There's going to be great competition at every position. Like we always talk about having at least 2 at every spot, and we're getting close to that.
How's your golf game, and what do you think expect to shoot today?
Well, I've only played once. That was actually at the Bo Jackson event at East Lake, and so this would be my second time out. The transfer portal, NIL, has changed all that, and I just spent the last 8 days in Israel, which was just amazing, a trip of a lifetime. And I did put my phone down a little bit. I stayed in contact with our prospects and their families, and I think it's important that God kind of commands us to spend some time with him, and it's awfully hard sometimes to do that, and so that's part of the culture of our program. And so I took that time, my wife and I, and some very dear friends, and I've got my batteries charged. I'm excited about being back. But it was good to spend all that time with the Lord.
Speaking of, I hope you're doing well today, but speaking of everything with NIL, the portal now, what is the toughest challenge of your roster seemingly constant? Not just you, but just across the nation. Why is the constant change?
I mean, I think everybody's in the same boat. I mean, you could lose them on both. You lose them in 3 ends. You lose them right across your own roster, guys getting in the transfer portal. You lose them on one end with them trying out for the league and leaving early, and you lose them on the freshman end, where if they don't play a lot as freshmen, they get frustrated, they get disappointed, and they want to do something else. So it makes roster management really difficult. And I've never been a guy that stockpile players. I just don't believe in 13 guys on scholarship and iron sharpens iron and all that BS. Okay, I just don't believe it. I think you're actually putting kids in a position to fail. And so we're going to put 1 or even 2 guys that are walk-ons on scholarship, because I'll recruit 10 or 11 guys that I really think can play, and we'll make them compete a little bit for sure, but they'll play. So it certainly makes it challenging, and we'll see. If Janai stays in the draft, well, then we're involved with some guys that are kind of waiting to see what he does. I don't know they'll be as good as Janai, because obviously Janai had a terrific year, and next year could have an even better year. Let's see how he does this week. But I'm very proud of him, very happy for him, and would have expected him to go there and do that well.
You mentioned losing Wendell or replacing. Like, how tough is to lose a guy who's all conference and everything that he's?
Yeah, it's Wendell had a huge imprint on this team. And not many Auburn basketball teams have gone back-to-back to the NCAA tournament and won first-round games. And Wendell's teams did that. And so, to his credit, I do feel very comfortable with Aiden, Trey, KD, Denver, particularly in the backcourt. Got a chance to add another one. So, Lior's coming back. Chris Moore can play that 3 as well as the 4. So, I still feel really good about our backcourt.
I know you're a big football fan. Obviously, he's only been here a few months, but have you been able to develop a relationship with Hugh Freeze at all, and what they're kind of building over there in the football facility?
He's working every day, all day, and so that SEC is the real deal, right? In football, just like it is in baseball and softball and golf and men's basketball, women's basketball. So, but he's the man for the job. He is absolutely the man for the job. He's kind of prepared his whole life to be here at this time in his life, and he gets it. He gets Auburn completely. He's already rejuvenated a roster, but that roster had a long way to go, and he's still working it. And I know he's got a brilliant offensive mind. He's been great to work with, and we've got a chance to spend some time on some ambushes together, and we may even have a little bit of golf at the end of this month together. So he's way better than me.
He had a good round last week at Regions. He was saying he was playing really well.
Yeah.